New at 5, flooded basements, fears about contaminated groundwater, crops dying in the sun. Now farmers pushing the state to let them re-tap wells in northeastern Colorado that are shut down. 7 News reporter Lance Hernandez checking this out. Lance, you found this has been developing over the last 6 years.
And hundreds of these wells were ordered shut down by the state back in 2006 because they essentially draw water from the same source that replenishes the South Platte. And the river was running extremely low. A lot of the users downstream weren't getting water they were entitled to. Now farmers in this area say that pendulum has swung too far the other way. The South Platte River is down to a trickle again this year. Most of the high country snow has already melted, and this is what it looked like back in February. The low level concerns farmers like Glenn Fritzler, who has junior water rights.
If Denver doesn't get a rain, we'll probably be out of water within the week.
Fritzler says if that happens, he stands to lose a good chunk of his $800,000 investment.
That's how much money it takes to buy the seed, the fuel, the fertilizer, and labor. So you have to risk that amount of money to make a much smaller portion.
What galls Fritzler is that while his fields are going dry, his basement continues to flood. His isn't the only one. We found some residents are running sump pumps round the clock. They say the water table is rising because the state won't allow them to use irrigation pumps. Fritzler says the water is rising so much in some locations that it's breaching into septic leach fields and could possibly contaminate groundwater, which he uses to water his lawn.
When I was a kid, turned on the sprinklers and we ran through the water and went to the garden hose and took a nice cold drink of that. My grandson, we're not going to be able to do that for him.
Fritzler says he wants the governor to issue an emergency declaration allowing farmers to reactivate their irrigation wells. He also wants the governor to sign HB 1278, which calls for a study of high groundwater levels. Again, these wells were ordered shut down because downstream users weren't getting the water they were entitled to. Now, I asked if there was a happy medium. The Department of Natural Resources says it's a complicated issue. As far as the groundwater study goes, the governor's office says they have until June 8th to decide on legislation approved this year. Live in Weld County, Lance Hernandez, 7 News.